I don't know if y'all seen these videos, all this stuff about ivermectin. Have y'all heard this discussion about this? Horse dewormer. So it's this whole thing about horse dewormer. People taking horse dewormer. Listen what this says. Anti-parasite drug halts coronavirus replication in lab-grown cells within 48 hours. But I thought it was horse dewormer. You just read it. An anti-parasitic drug that's available around the world stops SARS-CoV-2 coronavirus from replicating in cells within a couple of days. This is from that site. According to the findings in vitro studies by Monash University of Biomedicine Discovery Institute, or the BDI, working with the Peter Daugherty Institute of Infection and Immunity. The BDI research lead, Kylie Wagstaff, PhD, said the studies showed that in this drug, ivermectin, started to become effective against SARS-CoV-2 in the lab-grown cells within just a day. He's speeding this thing up because we got to go, right? Listen, this is from Los Angeles Times. No, ivermectin does not treat or prevent COVID-19. Joe Rogan had an interview. I don't know if y'all saw the interview.
He said he killed himself with that, and they literally...
They destroyed him. And then he brought Sanjay Gupta back on his show and then destroyed Sanjay Gupta. Sanjay Gupta had to apologize to Joe Rogan. They playing games with you. Just told you, that was the genetic and engineering and biotech news, but we're going to get some other sources. So that's the whole thing right now. Yeah, from the horse. From the horse's mouth. So see, this is how they get you. And I don't say this before we even get to it. So there's ivermectin, the paste that they give to horses. And then there's ivermectin, the pill that they give to people that's sick. Right? So people, they trying to like, is this catch-22? They say, oh, ivermectin is for horses. They have, it's like you saying that shoes is for horses because they have horseshoes. Do y'all get what I'm saying? That's the kind of mind trick or deception that's going on right now. I'm gonna speak through this because I don't want to just be talking about this subject. So again, FDA, you're not a horse, you're not a cow. Seriously, y'all, stop it. That's a horse dewormer. Is it though? Right. Don's take. Joe Rogan announces he has COVID, is taking horse dewormer, ivermectin. Again. So let's look at this. Again, this is a picture from a shelf. Ivermectin is only to be sold with horse owners. So they can't even, ivermectin is not safe, right, for human use. All this other stuff, right? Now let's look at Forbes.com. Forbes, resurrecting old drugs for unmet medical needs, known formerly by drug repurposing, is important message in the Nobel Prize for Medicine earlier this month. It came up today with the intriguing study that showed that the anti-parasitic drug ivermectin appears to be promising for disrupting malaria transmission. That's Forbes. Did you know that ivermectin won the Nobel Prize for treating people with parasites? Yeah. October 27, 2015. Nah, it's horse dewormer. Listen, ivermectin has been used in decades, once given a year as a part of a mass drug administration program to reduce disabling worm infections. Where that worm, and their what? Fire's not quenched. Reducing disabling worm infections from whatever that word is, which causes blindness, filariasis, and the cause of hugely swollen legs or elephantitis. Merck has generously donated the entire supply of the drug, and companies have followed suit with different drugs that neglected tropical diseases. Listen, in sub-Saharan Africa, each year the deadly malaria parasite, Plasmodium falciparum, kills 500,000 or 500 people, among them, I don't feel like reading a whole lot. Not just Africa would benefit from ivermectin in the study related. Kevin Kablinski of U.S. Walter Reed Army Institute research showed that ivermectin can block the development of Plasmodium, vax parasites, and mosquitoes. So basically, ivermectin been given to sub-Saharan Africans for years. It's the go-to. They give it. I seen this doctor say it. They said they give it out at schools. Right.
For corona. I heard it on the radio.
Yeah.
It's no good. It's not good for the human because they can't charge the money
Right.
for it. You know, for the new stuff that they want to give.
Right. And see, people going and buying horse paste. Right? That's what they're doing. And then they're trying to flip it and act like that's the same thing, and it's not the same thing. So, again, we about to wrap that part of it because that's the part of the warning. So, the warning is that, and I be honest, I done beat the horse, I done chopped the horse up, I done made glue out the horse, I done sold glue to people. They done put pictures together with the glue. That's kind of where we at right now with this subject. So I don't want to, if you will give me something else, I said I'm basically releasing this because we in this place where everybody's mind should be sold on this stuff. But what I'm finding is that there's people that's still in the awakening that's playing around with this stuff. You want to be sold to it, be sold to it. Be sold to it. But what you're doing is you allowing them to have access to you permanently. If that's what you want to do, go do that. But now it's time for people to batten down the hatches. What time is it? 6:17. We're doing good. Because this is really what I want to talk to. I didn't even really want to talk about that. But I know I had to. I know the information had to get out there. And hopefully they don't shut down the channel. So people know what's going on. But the truth of the matter is, the vaccine, not taking the vaccine is not going to save you. It'll save you from dying from parasites eating your brain, walking around like zombies, but it's not going to get you in the kingdom. Right? What's going to get you in the kingdom is following after Yahushua. And so what Yahuwah showed me this past week, and I told you, Yahuwah showed me like 3-4 different things, and I'm trying to figure out what to actually talk to y'all about. What can I talk to y'all about right now? And one thing that I can talk to y'all about is the Yahushua code. The Yahushua code. So Yahushua, everything that he said and he did, we're gonna say this we're gonna run through this in like 15 minutes, hopefully. Is the context that he basically left a plan for all of us. And this plan is not just what we think or we read when we read over the surface. We read, oh, don't do this or don't do that, or go here and go there. The real plan that he left is what he said about himself. That's the code. That's the replication. The Yahushua code. Let's look at this. Matthew 11:25-27. And that time Yahushua answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Adonai and Shamayim and the rest, because thou have hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes. Even so, Father, if it so seem good in thy sight, all things are delivered unto me of my Father. No man knoweth the Son but the Father, neither knoweth any man the Father save the Son. And he was to whomsoever the Son will reveal him. So I was reading this this week. And like I told you, my mind been all over the place for different things that you was dealing with me about. But this really stood out to me because I started seeing this really a while back. When we did the lesson about the Son of Man, that's when I realized that Yahushua should be speaking in code. Like he'll be saying things about himself, but he's really trying to show the people the pattern to walk in if they can discern it. So that's why he'll say, he that hath the ear to hear, let him hear. But he knew everybody couldn't hear it at that time. Everybody couldn't necessarily be formed into it. So he'll say specific things and then just leave it, hoping at a specific time when his ruach rests upon them, they'll get that understanding. So when you look at this, he says he hid these things from the prudent and has revealed them unto babes. And so I sat around and I started thinking about this thing. I was like, man, what's going on with that? Because Yahuwah's been dealing with me about a specific thing. And I can't really get all into it right now. But what Yahuwah's showing me is that it's going to come a time that you're not going to be able to just come. There's only so much understanding you're going to get. There's only so much studying you can get. The books are so packed with information and revelation, you can be reading forever and still not fully understand it. But it comes a time when Yahushua's just going to speak something to you plainly. That's it. So think about this. There are secrets that Yahuwah's been revealing to us in an awakening that nobody else knows. Stuff we do in the assembly, people like, how's this stuff happening? Like I said, like the deliverances that we done had is unprecedented. Unprecedented. Never seen nothing like it. So people see these things. I even had a conversation with somebody that was like, man, well, it's so much deliverance, like almost like, is there something wrong? The context is that the reason why there's so much deliverance is because the environment been sanitized. There can't be no deliverance when everybody's in sin. Right? There cannot be no judgment unless there's somebody that's righteous. The wicked can't judge wicked. All they can do is continue the cycle of wickedness. There has to be somebody who is righteous that's outside of their order to be able to judge it. That's the reason why, or even to be able to deliver it from judgment. That's what happened with Lot and Abraham. Lot kept asking, Abraham kept asking Yahuwah, is there one righteous? And he kept negotiating. If it's so many righteous, if it's 50 righteous, if it's 100 righteous, if it's so many righteous. At the end of the day, the place was what? So what happened? So there was none righteous. Right? So a judgment can't be avoided, and a judgment also cannot be declared without somebody being righteous. Right? But the righteous walk according to the order of Yahuwah. It's certain that they see and understand, they can read, but it comes to a point when Yahuwah is just going to speak to them plainly. So the whole world is based on this type of thing. You go to seminary, they're not going to tell you everything right away. Right? You're going to go through these levels. You're going to have to go through these classes. You're going to have to get to the point where you get your degree in witchcraft, which is the degree in divinity. That's what divinity is, witchcraft. So you get your degree in divinity and you get to a certain place. Or like your educational system. When you get to a certain place, you get your doctorate and you have these fellows that work together. They might be in a think tank to try to make the next new big thing. Right? Or you might join a fraternity and you're part of that fraternity and then they have a secret code, secret handshake. And you go up through rights and degrees till you get to a specific place where they tell you a secret thing that you didn't know before. So everybody's fighting to get this secret information. Everybody understand what I'm saying?